Well, although it has been a wet spring in the Oklahoma City area this year, many parts of the state are experiencing drought. And with the summer officially set to begin next Wednesday, it could get worse before it gets better. And these days, droughts are happening faster and lasting longer. Joe Filomeno joins us now with more on flash droughts. Joel.
Rich, flash droughts are leading to smaller yields for farmers and in some cases could dry up crucial water resources for cities in Oklahoma and beyond.
I was just kind of raised in it.
Dylan Travis is a fifth-generation farmer from Merrimack and Pawnee County.
I got in farming at a very young age. My dad and my grandfather both farmed.
Pawnee County has received over 12 inches of rain this spring, which is above the average amount, and that's helped the family's production of hay, fertilizer, and seedings that they sell to other farmers in Oklahoma. But that hasn't always been the case in recent years.
We was running out of water in our ponds. We was running out of grass. We had to change the way we were managing our grass, and we ended up not having to sell any cows because we try not to overstock our pastures.
Not all droughts are the same.
Dr. Jeffrey Basara is an associate professor and executive associate director of water security at the University of Oklahoma. He recently co-authored a report on the National Communications Journal. That peer-reviewed research includes the very latest data on flash droughts.
What we're interested in is how weather, how climate impacts ecosystems, impacts society, impacts water availability.
He says flash droughts form differently than typical dry spells because flash droughts are quicker to develop into a serious situation.
Instead of seeing something develop over 6 to 12 months, these are processes that develop over 3 to 6 weeks. And so the challenge there is that what happens is when these flash droughts occur, which begins with a lack of precipitation, but also then tend to be coupled with extreme heat and very dry ambient conditions, windy, lots of sunshine, it can rapidly develop.
Dr. Basara says data collection is getting more accurate and showing that flash droughts occur often in Oklahoma.
About 2 decades ago in the scientific community was sort of the first mention of the word flash drought. But over the last decade, and really specifically even over the last 5 years, as we've had better data sets that we can utilize, we've begun to realize that these are really important events. 2022 had a significant flash drought across especially the eastern part of the state of Oklahoma, southern Oklahoma, and had major impacts on water resources and vegetation sustenance in those regions. And so that obviously impacts agriculture and other aspects that rely on water resources.
Flash droughts in Oklahoma do most of their damage in late summer months, adversely affecting crop yields at harvest time.
Once there's seed in the soil, if there's no available water because of flash drought conditions, then the actual vegetation doesn't come up, the wheat doesn't come up. And so that actually means that from that point on, you can't get those plants back.
And late season rainfall arrives too late to help.
Most of the fields we were cutting last year were making 30 to 50% less than the year before, and some were even up in that 70% less. So if a pasture was making 3 bales to the acre, it was making anywhere from a bale to a bale and a half to the acre. So a lot of producers were losing their hay production, and they had to start feeding hay earlier because there was no grass.
It seems like Mother Nature has bulked up her shoulders just a little bit.
Clay Pope is with the National Association of Wheat Growers. He says flash droughts have become more persistent.
At times that in the past we didn't necessarily see it then, and it's coming in bigger chunks. And when it comes in bigger chunks, that means you have those extended dry periods which develop into those flash droughts they were talking about.
Those extended dry periods sap the soil of nutrients vital for those healthy crops.
We know we do a good job of conservation, but even with that good work, we still lose, if you run the math on it, we lose about 3 pounds of soil for every pound of wheat we grow in Oklahoma. That's not sustainable either financially or if we're going to feed 9 billion people.
Dr. Basara says local communities here in Oklahoma will not be the only ones battling with flash droughts. It'll be a problem the whole globe will be dealing with.
One really important case was 2010 in Russia. There was a significant flash drought that occurred in that region that led to a very strong heat wave and a number of unfortunate fatalities locally. but it had such an impact on the local wheat production in that portion of the world that the exports of wheat that typically occur in that world, in that region of the world, actually ended.
Many towns and cities in Oklahoma try to conserve water to ensure the supply is there for residents. But the effects of flash droughts are beginning to impact water levels in urban areas as well.
And that, of course, has impacts on all sorts of issues from commerce and shipping, but also the availability of water for municipalities for whatever is needed, including just basic human consumption, but also industry and other aspects of what our cities need water for.
Dylan Travis advises other farmers to make hay while the sun shines, because good years are always offset by bad years in his business.
If your crops are doing good and you're getting bumper crops, put that money back for a year that's going to be bad. And I think that if you just watch your bottom dollar all the time, I think that will make sure that you can make it year in, year out.
The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration is predicting Oklahoma could experience a range of 33 to 50% of above average temperatures between now and August.